my friend, Channa Beth Butcher, actually now Dr. Channa Beth Butcher, has been a friend of mine for over 50 years. And she called me and said, I have an idea and I need help. And I said, okay, before I even knew what the project was. But then she explained to me that she wanted to make ecologically sound and reusable sanitary napkins for girls in Kenya because, as she told me and I didn't realize before, the girls had to stay home from school because they didn't have sanitary napkins and they couldn't go out of their house. And I think school's important. And I trusted and believed my friend's story, and we got together and started making them. She did a lot of research about what materials and what the shape should be, and they had to be reusable because there's no place to bury things or trash them as we do in the United States. So we worked on getting an absorbent material that could be washed and reused. And we started, and the very first day of our project, we made one pad. Now we make 50 or 60 a day. But the first day, we had to work out all of the problems and find out how to do it.
So it's been in my mind for several years to do a nonprofit. My real love is the girls of Kenya. I just fell in love with them. My first tutor was a graduate student from Kenya. Then I met her sister and some other incredible women at IU from Kenya, and I just fell in love with their spirit and their determination and how wonderful they were, how intelligent they were. And I had been doing some reading, and international development doesn't always portray them that way. So, and the Kenyan girls were also an impetus for me to go back and work on my doctorate degree in education, in literacy, culture, and language education. And through that, I had always in the back of my mind, when I finished, I would like to start my own nonprofit. And because I wanted it as a participatory international development NGO, where Americans, people from the United States, encourage, engage, and empower, the 3 E's, Kenyan girls, and we work hand in hand. So my idea is to not just do what we want to do here. People might say, well, let's send school fees. Well, I want to do more than that. I want to actually work with the women and girls and teach them to some skills that they may use in the future, become self-sufficient, be an active participant in their own lives, and also provide support for them, like for the girls.
I'm Channa Beth's husband. So when she started this project, I was just assigned to do whatever she needed help with. What I'm doing is kind of the final step in the process of putting the snaps on the pads. And she'll give me a sewn pad like this, and I'll put metal snaps on them so that they can be fastened like that. And that's the last step in the process so that they're ready to use.
I couldn't do this project without him, really, because, you know, when I'm busy doing this, he unloads the dishwasher, he does the laundry, he cooks, he does everything. So literally, I could sit and do this all day long and not have to do any of the things that I sometimes do.
I'm Harrison Newman, and my mother brought me into this project. We moved back to Indiana after we had been living in North Carolina, and while I was in North Carolina, my sister and mom were helping with this project when it started, and after we had moved here, I had been brought into it as well. It's a lot of fun to be able to come here and help with this project, and my own personal feelings about this is that it's important for people to have what they need in order to make their lives better for themselves.
My name is Nejla Munschauer, and I am Marcia's daughter, and I'm Harrison's mom. And we were very lucky to grow up in a household where our parents were very aware of people from other places and other cultures. My dad was in the Peace Corps before he married my mom, and he was in Ethiopia and got to visit Kenya and Tanzania as part of his time while he was in Africa doing Peace Corps. And my mother is Lebanese on her mother's side, so we have been very lucky to be able to access a lot of fun things that not everybody has access to. So appreciating African cultures and differences has been something that we've learned from the time we were very little. Well, and to be honest, Channa Beth raised me. She's been part of my family my whole life, and she's been part of my children's family our whole lives. So it really is truly intergenerationally, not just in our close familial sense, but in a broader familial sense. It is absolutely imperative to include each other for programs of this nature, because my son, working with other students from all over the world at The Hague for the Model United Nations, helped me understand things that I could never have otherwise understood. My experience as a young person going to Kenya and Tanzania helped them understand things that they could never have understood. And the guidance of our matriarchs, Marcia and Channa Beth, has helped us be able to work with other groups to be able to get 2,000 of these done in 4 months. And we've gotten smarter, we've gotten better, and the community support has been absolutely imperative to even just getting the first segment of the project launched.
This is an amazing project.
Isn't it?
I would like to be part of this project in Kenya.
Well, here,
Thank you.
okay, all right. So
Well,
these are going.
here's a
to-
pair of scissors.
Yeah.
You're in.
You're in. You win.
Thank you.
You're on. You're a member.
So our goal was to get girls to be able to go to school and learn and get education. If they miss 3 or 4 days of school every month, they missed out on education. And of course, since we're women, we understand that girls need education. so that they can better themselves. And that's why, and I have 3 daughters and 1 son, and I'm very empathetic to the idea of girls, as I am a girl myself. Or actually, I once was.
Once we receive word about receive our evaluations about the pads, is to reach out to more people here in the United States to get a first round of pads made, because I don't want to go into a school without being able to distribute pads and show them what they are in addition to making them. So I've already reached out to a couple of 4-H groups, and they are willing to cut and trace pads for us. I have a book club, another church group. I have other people lined up that will help with sewing, and some of the people that helped me with these pads are also on board to help as we go further. So once we start working on that, and once we have the evaluations, then when we before returning to Kenya, we want to firm up the schools and the communities that are going to work with us, and how many girls are going to be involved, because we would like to go into an area like if we go into a girls club, we would like to train, depending on the size of the club, to train 3 to 5 girls to make the pads, and then they could train others. And one young girl mentioned that when we were in Masai Mara, she said, if I learn to do this, then I can learn to sew clothes. So the idea is already there that this is learning a skill that can help them in the future.